Well, that missed. Kaboom! That's awesome. Hello Spartans, and welcome back to another Blade and Sorcery video. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a mod showcase. It's been a little while since I've actually done one of these, so I thought I'd want to show off a few mods that I've personally been messing around with in U11. Now obviously you can see there is a few things different. Finally got myself the Spartan helmet, which will be shown off in this video. So, let's go ahead and get going. So our first mod on the list is by U11, and you're going to see him a couple times on this list, and that is the helmet pack. I just pulled a sword out mid-intro. That's not good. But anyway, let's check out the mod. Okay, so as I'm sure you can see, I have a helmet on. This is new. This is very new. So, not only can I put myself into a helmet, which there are, I think, quite a few helmets. I think this is around 10, maybe less. I'm going to double check that and I'll let you know in a minute. But also, you can spawn them on enemies and they really do work as solid helmets, which is fantastic. Okay, so let's spawn a couple enemies and see what kind of helmets we get. There we go, look at that. That's an old Viking helmet. We have a Spartan helmet here. Look at that, that's a Gondor helmet, I think. So let's deal with this in the best way possible. Those were two very clean decapitations. But I think the helmets actually work as well. Like if I... Yeah, you can hear the leather sound, which is amazing. Anyway, I think that's so cool. We're always looking forward to seeing more armor in this game. And now we can finally start adding armor sets. It's going to be so much fun. Anyway, time to move on to the next mod. And our second mod on the list is Trajectory, again by U11. This one, for all you archers out there, is great. We have a couple archery themed mods on this list, so anyone who likes ranged weapons, you're going to love this. So, Trajectory, what can we do with that? Well, have you ever shot an arrow and realised, oh, I can't really see where that's going? Well, now you can. It shows an estimated line of trajectory of where your arrow will go, which is very useful for some players. So, let's just place an enemy down and see if we can get a nice shot on this enemy with the trajectory. I mean, it's bouncing off them, but it's definitely hitting, you know? See? That's so cool. That's awesome. So you can actually kind of tell where your arrows are going to go now. So if I wanted to go for a real long shot, let's spawn a guy over there, right? See, it works. That is fantastic. Now, it's still kind of hard to see the red line. That just might be the resolution I've got my headset set to. But it seems to do its job pretty damn well for what it's supposed to be doing. And I could not be happier with it. So, there you go. And you see the helmet's working from the last mod. So that's fantastic. They are just sliding off the helmet though. So, I think we move on to the next mod. And our third mod on the list is the Longsword Mega Pack. This is fantastic. Let's get straight into it. Now, this is available on Sushin's server in his Giga Pack, along with the Medieval Mega Pack and the Katana Revival Mega Pack. So, what do we have for this mod? Well, I did lose one of the weapons, but let's pull out this one and show you. So, these are all sheathed longswords. They are all very nice looking long swords, might I add, and they work incredibly well. Now they all have their own sheaths. That sheath just got incredibly small. Because it was always like that. Anyway, so most of the long swords, I think there's around 50 or more, maybe there's more. They all perform beautifully. Obviously Sushin, he's weighted them absolutely perfectly, and I love them. Now, we'll go ahead and show you in the book what we are messing with in here, so you guys get a general idea of how many there is. So if we open up the Longsword Mega Pack right there, we just have so many different longswords, and they are all so fun. Especially things like this, which just look awesome. I love it. So yeah, I highly recommend trying this out. It's a really fun little mod, and well, big mod actually, and it also helped reduce clutter in MMP. That's why it was made, because there were just too many longswords of a similar type in MMP. So Sushin thought, do you know what? I'll bring them all into one mod. And I think they are all fantastic in their own right. Longswords being my favourite weapon behind sabres. I can't not like this. And our fourth mod on the list is the Archer's Arsenal. I'm not going to say anything else about it. Let's just have a look. Okay, so the Archer's Arsenal, what you want to do is grab yourself a cycle quiver, and you'll be able to get different arrows. Now I think this is the explosive arrow, or the electric arrow, one or the other. We're gonna find out. It's the electric arrow. Look at that, and look how good they look. By the way, it looks awesome. I love that. So that is fantastic. Let's try out another arrow. So what you need to do is press the auto use button on here, and now we should have different arrows. I'm not sure what this is, but we're gonna find out. I'm going to assume that's a light arrow. Yeah. So if I wanted to light up an area, there we go. And it will light up the area. So it's really good for darker areas. Let's check the next arrow. The next arrow seems to be explosive, so let's see. Yeah, it's a knockback arrow. Look at that. Well, that missed. Kaboom! That's awesome. Okay, so we have the fire arrow. So this should burn enemies. It looks awesome. Let's see what we can do with it. Oh, it's just fire. Okay, well, it's cool. And I think it pierces a little further than normal arrows. Why is it just sliding around the side of his face? There we go. That's really cool. I like that. Next arrow. And we have the ice arrows, of course. Now, I think these should freeze enemies. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. And we have our, I think this is the rope arrow. So let's try to hit an enemy with this. Oh, it's the knockout arrow. So this is the knockout arrow, I assume, or the insta-kill arrow. It seems to do insane amounts of damage, so I'm going to assume that. And we are back to our electric arrows. So that is the Archer's Arsenal mod. There is a grapple arrow that I just could not get working for me personally, but I'm sure I'm just doing it wrong. But we'll just see what you guys managed to get out of this mod. Anyway, let's move on to the next mod. And our fifth and final mod is an old classic that has been updated to U11. Let's check out the scale spell. Now I know what you're thinking. The longsword from the last mod is pretty big. Yeah, it is. But what if it was bigger? Now, I feel like this would do a lot more damage, no? What do you guys think? Let's, I think it's time we test this out on someone. So, the scale mod is an absolutely fantastic mod. And it didn't change the colliders on the weapon, unfortunately. For some reason, when it normally does. But we can also scale down the enemy. So he's a little diddy boy, and we can pick him up, and we can go, Rah! And we can stamp on him, and kick him into the ground, because he's dead. But we can also make enemies bigger, and that becomes a whole lot more terrifying, if I'm being honest. It also scales their weapons, which makes for some really fun stuff, like this. It's awesome. And I think, if I'm correct, you can also scale with one hand. Yeah. You actually don't need the spell in both hands. So I can scale this down to a little axe, and now it's a little choppy boy. So, obviously the scale spell is fantastic. I've always loved using it. It's very useful for content, as well as just for general having fun with the game. Like, if this guy is just too big to deal with, who cares? Make him back to a normal size, kick him in his teeth, and be done with it. I'm failing to kick him in his teeth right now.
What happened?
What do you mean, what happened? I'm destroying you. There we go. Anyway, that is this scale spell. Anyway, Spartans, that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell for all things Schmitto. Don't forget to look out for some more videos coming for the rest of the week and for the rest of the month. And I just want to say I appreciate the support from every single one of you, especially the patrons. You guys are fantastic, and I just want to say that you guys keep me going every day, and I'm going to keep pushing out the content for everyone else. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later in a bit.